So let's talk about the fact we're in a workplace. We're in an environment. Somebody vehemently disagrees with our political view, but they go beyond that. They become vile. They become toxic. They become problematic that we truly just are so frustrated with them. Right. How do we handle this? How do we love them through this? How do we coexist with them? Again, next question is going to be how do we talk to them? But right now I'm just trying to, how do we emotionally deal with that? Because we're so offended and so frustrated with how they're approaching the disagreeable subject.
Okay, two parts, two steps in this process here. Step number one, decide if you want to be a bigot or not. So if you were going to be a bigot and say, I don't want to talk to people I disagree with, who have different opinions, different beliefs, and I decided that I'm a bigot, be a bigot. And you can just basically cut that person off and not see him anymore. If you decide not to be a bigot and you say, you know what, I want to be friends and still love and be coworkers with people I disagree with because it actually makes my life better. I'll actually become a more whole person with a wide circumstance of views. Then the second thing would be to talk to that person and say, listen, John, I love you to death. I don't know if we always need to talk about politics. I'd love to talk about some other things besides politics. And if we do talk about politics, would you do me a favor? A couple things. Number one, would you please try not to change my mind? I promise you, I won't try to change yours. And number two, could we keep the tone civil? And then what I've really gotten good at, I've mastered about a dozen really good questions. Mark, do you remember there was a time we didn't talk about politics all the time? Do you remember that?
Yes. Yes. Hope for the day.
The golden days, right? We talked about our kids and travel and trips and football and golf and, the things we like to do. And then we asked each other real questions. What's most important to you? What gets you excited in the morning? What did you learn about your partner during COVID? Yeah. What do you appreciate now post-COVID that you didn't appreciate before? I enjoy getting on an airplane again. Yeah. I never thought I'd say that. So let's ask questions that really get to the heart of how someone is, rather than dancing around all this kind of tribalism and bigotry and hatred. If you are more committed to national unity than partisanship, please check out my book, The Second Civil War, A Citizen's Guide to Healing Our Fractured Nation. My book will challenge you to improve your relationships with friends and family. Click the link in the description below.